say you're in the trenches with different nationalities, different backgrounds, you start saying some offlandish stuff that normal civilian people wouldn't hear. They'd be like, they would want to beat you up for it. But for us, it's normal. It's like we don't know because we're out to sea or we're in the camaraderie. We done built such a camaraderie. We're saying some irregular shit that we would laugh about, but y'all be like, yo, like y'all really talk like that.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, like
to the civilian side.
Yeah, the civilian side.
Stuff, and they're like, I'm like, I'll probably get fired.
Yeah, yeah. Like you just get on the civilians. You can't just walk up and cut somebody out because you're mad because you get rid up and fired. Like that's a normal thing in the military.
I'm big boned. I'm heavy structure. I'm hung low. If I pull my shit out, this whole room get dark.
I'ma talk my shit. Fat finger, let me talk my shit. Damn right I'm gonna talk my shit. I.E. in this bitch love. Never resting on my laurels. The definition of a core when they start questioning your morals. Decapitation.
What's good? This is another rendition of Talk Yo Shit. Now, backstory on this one. For a while now, this man goes to my gym, and I came across him on the story of our gym's Instagram. And I was like, man, this dude gets it in. He's a beast. So every time I would see him in the gym, I'm like, damn, he's beasting. And after a while, since Maurice is also on a health journey and a workout journey, I would hit up Maurice and be like, hey, man, there's this dude at the gym that be beasting. I said, he kind of looks like a buff you. So I would call him Buff Mo. So every time I would see him, I was like, damn, there goes Buff Mo, man, he getting it in again. And then it was one time, I can't remember if it was 140 or 150 you asked for help with. And you were like, hey, man, can you help me out? And I said, yeah, let me go. Like, you want a spot or something? Like, cool. So I go to thinking on spot, and he goes, no, man, I just need you to help me lift them up on my knee so I can lift them up. I said, oh. I felt like a bitch in that moment because in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, you don't need help with this? Like, and then he's like, yeah, go ahead and help me put it on my knee. So I'm lifting it up and I'm struggling. I'm like, is he judging me? And so he gets the weights up and he just starts lifting them shits like it's nothing for him. And I'm like, my nigga, like I can't fathom this kind of strength. So anyway, I see him in the gym, and every time I see him, he's beasting. I see him on Instagram, he's beasting. And then one day I'm hooping, and he comes into the courts, and he goes, hey man, like I'm trying to like possibly get on this path to doing podcasting. Is it cool if I'm a guest or come onto your podcast to kind of get an idea what it's about? And I said, you know what? In my mind it clicked. I said, I kind of feel like when you run with the signs, you end up in a situation where it's like it kind of fits perfectly because to me, the path that he's on and the journey that he's on as also being a father, also being in the Navy and having a career in the Navy and trying to balance it all, being an active father on top of that, it just made sense to me. So he has this journey that he's on. He's a dope individual. Every time I chop it up, when it was always on a positive vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you. You want me to just call you Will, but I kind of feel like it's Will. Hey, it's just Will. It's like, no, William Dennis Alexander. Like I'm a WD 40, 140, 150. He be lifting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so ladies and gentlemen, we give to you. I'm gonna call him WD 40. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I need to told the man whole government name.
Hey, yeah, I know, right?
They gonna look at you. They gonna.
So
they definitely gonna find you now.
Yeah, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. Blessed to be here. I appreciate y'all. Humble beginnings. So thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here.
So I know the other day you told me that a couple years ago, this is when the light hit. But like, what was it, and what flipped that switch in you taking your health and workouts so seriously like you do?
So I'm a little backstory. I've kind of always been lifted. I've been lifting since I was 14, 16 years old. Due to football in high school, we had to do the summer lifting program. So I've always worked out. Um, I've always fluctuated in weight. At one point in time I was 265. I cut down the weight, got down to 205. But I hit my highest ever about 3 years ago. I got to 275. I look like I called myself the Black Kirby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I was looking bad, and I was like, yeah, I was strong, and like I said, I've always lifted, but I didn't really see myself because I was on the ship, I was underweight, and I was just like, we didn't have an adequate gym to my measure to keep me where I wanted to be at, and I gave myself a lot of valid excuses. But yeah, when I seen that picture, when I remember we pulled into a port, we were in the Middle East, and I forgot what port we pulled into, and I walked past the mirror, I was like, holy fuck. And then this was in me in transfer coming back to the States and be back stateside with my family. I was like, as soon as I touch ground, I'm on the grind. Like, so I lost, in about 8 months, I had lost like 55 pounds, and I hit a moment where I was like, oh, I'm kind of stuck. So I did a 7-day fast, 7-day water fast, cleared it up. And then I got down back into 208. And then this was all within last year. And then I got hurt. Last year I had a ruptured herniated disc in my neck, and I've kind of been rebuilding, lost all functionality to the lower half of my body. I was actually at the gym right here on the elliptical. I didn't know what was going on, and then my body just fucking gave out to me.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, long story short, I'm blessed. Like, I'm glad I'm able to luckily find out they thought I had a stroke. I went to Menifee Hospital. They did a stroke test on me, didn't find anything, so they sent me to Riverside Community, did another stroke test, didn't find anything. Then they did the MRI, and that's when they seen I had the ruptured herniated disc in my neck with neck stenosis. So basically, the ruptured herniated disc started growing through the membrane that protects your spinal cord, and it was flattening my spinal cord. Damn. And that's what caused everything for me to lose everything. So I had to hit, the doctor was like, yeah, you got to have surgery. So they went through the front of my neck, cut that off, and I got a stent in my like a titanium plate in my neck. So that's what I'm saying. I'm blessed to be here again and be able to get back to doing what I was doing. But yeah, that, like, all that kind of took place of me. That's where it started, like the 275, and then that happened, and I was like, I'm gonna come back stronger and better. So yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Wow, shout out to God.
yeah,
Yes.
That's
So,
wild.
Wait, how tall are you?
5'6".
275.
Yeah, nigga. I was.
Hey, nigga.
You
bro.
guys have a whole fat girl on the damn team.
yeah,
Be quiet, okay? Thank you.
Hey, this is men discussing.
I don't
men
give a
weight.
damn. You have a whole fat girl sitting up here. Be quiet.
Stay over there.
I'm always gonna be right here where I need to be.
Fuck. So what is Legacy Lifts?
So it's kind of just something I've been playing with. I guess more or less, like, it's not for me, it's for my son. So if I ever pass, my son could go on my Instagram career like, that's my dad.
Oh, that's dope.
You know what I mean? Like, I think mentally where I'm at with the gym, I think a lot of young men and boys need it, and they don't understand how much effect it is. And I'm not saying you need the gym. You need to work out daily. It does something positive to your brain that is scientifically proven that you need. And once I got to that point that I have to understand that I need the gym daily, even if it's like the small things, going for a walk or something. Like, if there's days, trust me, there's days I'm like, fuck, I did not feel like going to the gym. Like, you just don't feel like it. So I'm like, all right, let me at least go for a walk, and I'll go for a walk, and then I'll see, like, they'll have like the pull-up bars. I'll go do a couple pull-ups and stuff like that. But just having that, there's something chemical that goes in your brain that, like, it helps you clear a lot of shit. And I just want Legacy Lifts is like, I want my son to be like, okay, my dad did this daily. Like, if I ever pass, that is there for him to be like, okay, dang, I want to surpass my dad. Like, right now, my heaviest lifts, bench squat, deadlift, I did 1,300 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
So you listen to Winnebago.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So
Wow.
yeah. And then I finally just surpassed, I feel like I just surpassed one of my goal weights of deadlift. So when I did my 1,300 pound lift, my max was 465 on deadlift. I finally hit 485, and this is also coming back after injury. And like, I was just happy to hit 485. I was like, fuck. So now I'm like, okay, I got to hit 500. It's something, I don't know, something about the delayed gratification of once you hit that. Like, it does something to you mentally, physically, and spiritually. You're like, I finally fucking did it. It's just that small goal. And it might not seem like much, but it's a lot for you as a person. I think people underachieve themselves a lot. Like even you guys having this podcast, this is fucking dope. Like I'm super appreciative of you guys having me on here, but like don't underappreciate yourself, because this moment you put those negative thoughts in your head, you're going to always feed that to yourself. And we're already fighting through negative thoughts that we had when we were kids.
Yeah.
Amen.
True.
That's very true.
So
Very true. Yeah. How many?
Oh, bad.
Go ahead.
So do you just lift the lift, or do you power lift?
I did one powerlifting competition, but it was through the military. And that's when I had my 1,300 pound lift, but I haven't competed.
Okay.
You know,
Because I just asked her, my wife just started powerlifting. Like she's serious about it. Like, and she getting strong. You know, she call herself Big Bro.
Join her. Join
Well,
her.
I don't power lift. I lift, but you know,
I'm dog. The thing, there's this guy I follow. He's like, you got to be strong for your family. And I was like, he's like, think worst case scenario. If your house caught on fire and your family got hurt, can you carry your family on your back and carry them out the house?
I mean, 1.5.
but that's, you know what I'm saying? And just following this dude, and this dude's another brother. And I was like, that makes sense. So I kind of changed some of my lifting styles in a sense. Like I started doing this thing. They're called the Zercher squats.
Oh yeah, okay.
Where you put the bar here,
Yeah.
and it's like basically if you're like carrying somebody. So I started doing Zercher squats in sense that like I'm thinking worst case scenario. If I have to pick up and carry my wife and my son, I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
So I always put
That's
their
nice.
weight on the bar when I'm doing Zercher squats, and I'll walk. And then sometimes I'll do Zercher walk. So I'll just pick up and I'll walk like 5 or 6 yards and re-rack the weight.
You're a good
You know
man.
what I mean?
You're a good
Trying.
man.
I'm trying.
You not doing that shit? You not doing it, Kevin?
Hey, look.
He said they could walk.
Sometimes you gotta go. Hey,
This
we
is-
gotta work together.
this is the thing that's crazy that I've learned mentally about people. You will go out, like if you're moving, you don't even think about it. You'll be like, oh, that couch could be 300 pounds, but you won't know it's 300 pounds, but you go and pick it up and try and put it on a truck.
No, it won't.
I-
No, those days are done.
Oh, well, I mean, unless you're hurt, but like a lot of people have that same mentality. They go in the gym, they see the weight, they're like, oh, fuck, that's 100
Yeah.
pounds. Like, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I don't think like that. I'm like, it's just fucking weight. I'm either gonna be able to do it, or my body's gonna go into shock, and then I'll be able to come back and do it. So
Okay, I like that. You got a better mentality than me.
So-
I gotta get it though.
yeah, it takes time. It wasn't like I built this shit overnight. It was like a lot of fighting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of mental fighting, and just, you know, having the words to encourage myself, you know. I live by an old saying, in football, our coach gave us a mirror, and on the mirror it said, you're only as good as the man in the mirror. And I wrote that when I made Chief, I wrote that in my vessel. And like, it's hard to look at yourself. You have to judge yourself every day. You got to be your biggest critic. And sometimes it's hard to admit yourself, like where you're actually fucking up. And it's easier to look yourself in the eyes and lie than it is to tell yourself the truth.
It's funny you said that, man. I've been like this last 4 months. I've been on this self accountability shit, and I'll be making myself cry. I'm like, you fucking up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's funny.
So how many years have you been in the Navy?
It'll be 20 years come September. So yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it.
service.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wow.
Thank you for continued service. Shit.
Yeah. It's been a long time, man.
So
Been
as a father, how hard is it to balance your career, the gym, and also being an active parent?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest, I would say it's probably about a 7, right? Because mind you, I live way out here in the IE. So I drive an hour and a half to work every day, and then coming back, it's 2 hours depending on traffic, or 2+ hours.
Oh shit, you go way out there.
Yeah, I work in,
Damn, okay.
so and then, you know, when I get home, he wants to hang out. Like, he's the only child, so he sees daddy, he wants to play. He wants to, you know, just be active. And then he's also in jujitsu, so I have to make sure I get home in time enough to try and take him down to jujitsu so he can have some discipline. And it's about a 7. The thing I learned is with juggling is you're always going to have time. It's on you if you're going to make the time for yourself, right? So I've had to learn to make time for myself. So sometimes I don't have to be to work till 9, but I'm like, I can wake up at 5, get out the house by 6, and still go get like go work out at the gym on base before I have to be at work, right? Like there's always time. It's just depending on where you want to place your time at, right? And then like there's sometimes like he'll get done with jujitsu, and thank God, you know, Powerhouse has has a daycare, so like I'll be like, fuck, I haven't had another workout, or I'll go get another workout after his. So sometimes I do 2 days depending on how I'm feeling. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean it's about a 7. Like I'm not, it's not super high, but like yeah, there are days where I'm like, man, I do not want to do this today. I'm like, dog, can you just chill out? Like just, daddy needs a break real quick, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a blessing. You know, I have to remind myself it's a blessing just to have my son. Just a short story. I almost lost my son and my wife when my son was born. So I have to remind myself, even though he's the only child, like I almost did not have the opportunity with him. So I have to keep reminding myself that daily, like, okay, he just wants to play with daddy. You know what I mean? So
you already touched on it, but what does the gym do for you mentally on top of the positive energy it sends?
it suppresses the negative thoughts. 100%. Like
1,000%.
When and it's sad, the days I don't want to go is when I have my best lifts. Like the days where like my self-talk in the car, like, you know, having that long drive to work, you have a lot of self-talk and you think about like, you know, what you want to do, all these other things. And like, you know, that's like my meditation, right? And it's crazy. Everybody's like, how do you, you know, when you drive to work, what do you do? I was like, honestly, I don't have the radio on. I'm just quiet. Like I just have a drive and I'm like, let my thoughts run. And then by the time I get to the gym, it's like the negative part of that conversation I have myself in that car goes away. And I just focus on the positive.
So what is your most embarrassing moment in the gym?
I don't care anymore because I'm older. I shit on myself.
Damn.
Oh my God. That was not what I was. Oh my God.
So back in the early days when like pre-workout used to have everything in it.
You gotta explain to me. I understand.
I would take my pre-workout and then go to the gym. But one time it was my wife's cousin Javi. He was with me and I was like, bro, I can't hold. I gotta go. And as we stepped in the gym, like I thought I was like good. And I was about to run to the restroom. Nah, I didn't even make it to a lift yet.
Oh,
I was like, that was back when like Jack 3D and everything had like all types of chemicals in it. It would just run through your body. But yeah, that's probably one of my most embarrassing moments in the gym.
That's hilarious.
Yikes.
That's hilarious because that was literally me yesterday. I was on the treadmill and I said, nope. Because that pre-workout wasn't getting through.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's that pray to Jesus, like, just make it, please, today. And then
I said, Lord, I got 100 feet.
Yeah.
I left my bag. I literally grabbed my phone, left my bag, everything else. I said, if it's there, if it's not there when I get back, we'll worry about it when we get back.
Yeah,
we gotta focus on this right now.
Yeah, but that happened probably like 10 years ago. Yeah. 10, 15 years ago.
That's one of my greatest fears.
Yeah, I feel like that. You said probably, but I feel like that's up number one.
That's one of my greatest fears.
Like, doing.
Hey, man.
You never.
Oh,
I was
God.
gonna say like
You think?
like
Hey, this is
something
what I
like
tell
a hack
people.
squat.
Yeah, I've seen people where like they be in the middle of squatting that shit. I'm like, thank God.
Oh.
Like you see it straining through the fucking.
Oh my God.
I'd be like, yo, I'm glad it was in me and like it was got on my shorts and I could make it home and change. But middle of a squat and you see it just juice. Like, oh man.
You went home and changed and came back?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been it for me.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna fit. Yeah, I was already locked in. I was like, I'm just gonna shower, throw my shit
I
away,
would have had
and get
a
back.
long talk in the shower, like how you had on the car ride. I've been like, damn, I just.
Yeah, you know, they would have saw me no more that day.
I would have worked out that day, but I would have been at a different gym.
Yeah, different location.
I would
Something.
have went back 2 weeks later. Hey, man, I gotta cancel.
Because did anybody see you?
Huh?
Did anybody see you?
No, that's the thing. Like I said, I was walking in. I didn't get
Okay.
to check in, so it was like I just. And the hobby's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Hey, we got to go back to that."
Oh,
So I
it
was
was
like,
just okay.
Yeah,
okay. I
okay.
thought it was like it came out. I'm like,
Yeah.
What you mean? That's a probably.
So, what setbacks have you faced as a black man in the Navy, or even just trying to get healthy?
All right, so in the Navy, growing up, I grew up in I grew up in Apache Junction, Arizona. I was one of probably like 5 black
Oh
people.
Lord, Apache Junction.
Yeah.
Damn, you was out there.
Yeah, we was out there. My parents kept moving further away. They were trying to buy a house and do their thing. Whatever. I'm not mad about that. So my mom always used to tell me, she was like, "Hey, I don't want you and your brother to be racist." Like, how the fuck? In my head, I'm like, how the fuck black people racist? Like, we've been systemically beat up all of our, So when I joined the Navy and I went to the East Coast and I'm around more Black people, I actually have been criticized of my color because I wasn't Black enough, or I wasn't, you know, in the term, I wasn't nigga. And I was like, in my eyes, where I come from, I'm like, bro, like if we walking down the street, me and you both gonna get chased. So what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
You know, but I have been in positions also too with that, and I'm not where it was a struggle for me to make rank. And I've, you know, it's not that I wasn't busting my ass to do it. I was like, me and him do the same thing. If not, I do more. Why is he getting?
No, that's not your homie.
You know what I'm saying? Why is he getting this over me? And I am gonna say, I'm in a rate that is predominantly white. I'm in a very small community. It's called I'm a mineman. We just made our first Black Master Chief in the rate. And the rate's been around for 30 plus years.
Yeah, it's an old rate.
Yeah. So it's, you know, am I gonna say is there still like hidden racism, all this stuff in the military or whatever? I don't know. I can't say that there officially is, but I've had moments where I was like, this shit don't seem right. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's fair. So, you know, there's also systems in play for all this stuff. So, you know, you can make reports and all this stuff if you are feeling some type of way. But yeah, I do feel, you know, everybody's like right time, right place, things happen for certain people. And I'm like, yo, this dude does the same amount as me, and how's he still getting more? So, you know, you just kind of, you got to cut your wins with your losses. Like at the end of the day, the way I look at it, I'm fifth generation Navy. I'm the first in my family to retire and put on khakis.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
So
well, in at least on the Alexander household, like on my dad's side, you know, but
I just think about racism in the military being, and I'm not thinking in the ranking scale part of it. It's more like, it seemed more overt. Like people are more willing to be out with it. Whereas like, and to me, when I was doing that, I didn't give a fuck because I'm like, well, we're all being fucking racist. So
yeah. I mean, you become immune to certain jokes because when you start hearing another race say the same joke that you probably would have said, you're like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it looked like Gary Owen, like that dude was in the Navy. Like some of the stuff he says, you're like, that's definitely some Navy jokes. Yeah. Like you're going to say you're in the trenches with different nationalities, different backgrounds. You start saying some offlandish stuff that normal civilian people wouldn't hear. They'd be like, they would want to beat you up for it. But for us, it's normal. It's like, we don't know because we're out to sea or we're in the camaraderie. We done built such a camaraderie. We're saying some irregular shit that we would laugh about, but y'all be like, yo, like y'all really talk like that.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, like
to the civilian side.
Yeah, the civilian
stuff, and they're like, and I'm like, I'll probably get fired.
Yeah, yeah. Like you just get on the civilians. You can't just walk up and cut somebody out because you're mad because you get rid up or fired. Like that's a normal thing in the military. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you mad at somebody, they're just gonna walk up to you and cuss you out. But you're like, I still got a job.
Yeah. And then at the end of the day, everybody's still coming together and then get what you had to get done. Yeah. That was the coolest part to me where I was like, that motherfucker's racist. I know it. But we gotta get this done.
Yeah.
So what projects or plans do you have in the works currently?
Right now, me and my boy are getting our podcast together. It's gonna be called Two Grumpy Gills.
I like that.
Based on like Navy type stuff, but just general, like how you guys are. Only thing is ours is probably gonna be more virtual because he's over in Bahrain right now. So,
what was the name again?
Two Grumpy Gills.
Gills, like
two fish, two grumpy gills. Yeah,
I got. He was gonna say put the third gill.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. There's a grumpy gill right here.
Oh,
his last name is Gills.
Oh, gotcha.
And that nigga be grumpy.
He's grumpy.
I knew exactly where he was going. That's why I was looking at you like, no, nigga, keep it pushing.
Yeah. So that's going like that, and then I'm trying to get my brand off. Anchored and go to apparel. So just trying to make it to CPO Prod Day.
What's the message behind that?
So anchored by God, goaded by life.
That's what I thought it was.
Oh,
Fire.
I like that.
I would buy a shirt right now.
Do you have a website?
No, and I just got my design down, so I'm trying to find like a vendor to at least do my first prints.
Motherfucker, you playing Navy games too, though.
Reach out to me when
Don't play with me. You playing Navy games too. Anchored and goaded by that. I know what the Chief Locker's about. That's smart.
Hey man,
that's a big demographic.
So that's what I'm saying. No, like you gotta play the game. But
he tried to leave that out. I was like, nah, nigga, there's more.
Hey man,
That's dope. I like it. I like it a lot.
But yeah, that's what I got in order, and then retire, man. Like I have no regrets anything about the military and all that. I'm not gonna speak bad about it or nothing, right? But you do get to a point where you're like, yo, it's time for the other side. Like, and I'm just at that point. Like, I'm super humbled that I was able to put on khakis before I retire and do all these great things, but I'm ready to just be a dad. You know what I mean? And be a husband and not have to like worry about if somebody's gonna call me like, hey man, like when you're in the military, you have to understand you're gonna adult adults, and that gets annoying after a while. You know what I mean? Like you really gonna have to adult adults, and a lot of newer generation of kids are.
It's different.
This is the way I look at it. I have my own theory behind this. We have kids coming in the military that are from the teen mom era. They were teens raising kids, and so like we have to teach them certain things. And I remember one specific story that got me like. We had a kid that he thought washing clothes just putting his clothes in the washer and then put them in the dryer.
With no soap.
No soap.
And we were like, why do you still smell? Because nobody
Don't do this, man.
You know what I'm talking? Like they're just
you trigger Kevin.
There are just certain things that I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with these type of people. I have to tell them how to adult because
it's weird.
Yeah, it is. Like so I'm just but I like at the end of the day, wholeheartedly, there is pluses about the military and whole, right? Like you get your GI Bill, you get your VA loan, you can use all that stuff the rest of your life. Whether you do 420, it's a stepping stone in life that not a lot of people know about. And they'll be like, oh, I don't want to join the government, but I'm like, all right, we'll just do 4 years and then get a VA loan the rest of your life, get your college degree the rest of your life. Nobody's telling you to do your whole lifetime, but if you get your 4 years, you're gonna have more than most Americans got.
Goddamn right.
So,
Des, are you ready?
Oh gosh, here we go.
Okay. Before you ask this question, and I become very irritated.
How you don't know that? How you know that? You prejudge, man.
I'm beginning to think that I am the only Steel fan. So
no, that's not true.
But
I think you'll be surprised.
For the people who don't know, you just mentioned that you got to put on khakis. Can you explain what that is?
So there's 2 ways to put on khakis. You either go chief or you go officer. So you got to be, I'm a person who believe you got to be attracted in something that you want. I was either want to be a chief or I want to be a warrant officer, which is another type of officer, but you got to basically put on chief to make warrant, right? And I want to be a bosun, which is an extended officer rate of the bosun mate rating, right? I'm a deck guy. I love working my hands. I like being outside and stuff like that, but putting on khakis, so I became a chief. So you basically, there is no like hard pipeline saying this is how you become a chief. It's basically you try to achieve as much as possible and submit a package. Like first you got to take a test. If you pass the test, you get they call it your ticket to the dance, right? So once you pass the test, that's when you're able to submit a package basically saying these are all the things I've done to be able to put on khakis as a chief.
Okay.
Right. And you submit it to the Chiefs board, they review, and they basically say, all right, hey, he has X, Y, and Z, all his evals say X, Y, and Z, you can put on chief. If you go the officer route, there's different programs you can do to go the officer route. Some are pre-college, some people, a lot of, you got a lot of guys that go to, what's it called? Not the Citadel. The Navy College. They come out of the Navy College and become officer. But if you go enlisted, there's a bunch of, you got Stay 21. There's programs you could submit to, after like once you become first class, you take the chief's exam. It just makes you eligible to do a LDO board, which is limited duty officer. Like that's the 2 ways you can either put on khakis is either via the Navy College, going to, right after high school, going to Navy College and you come in as an officer. Or you can do a program. There's so many of them. Like matter of fact, my wife's cousin husband, David, he zoomed. He's he made HM1 in like 4 years and then got picked up for officer program. So he's only been in the Navy like 6 years, already officer.
That's
wow.
dope.
That's
crazy.
It sounds like there's a lot that goes into it. So congratulations on that, on your hard work.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm ready now. We gonna see what you
You
gonna
sure?
say.
You ready?
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Uh-oh, here we go.
I'm
Lord.
ready.
Did you warn him?
What is this?
I'm ready.
All right.
Did you warn him? You should have
Hey.
warned him. We gotta start warning
It's
people.
generational.
People when
That-
people watch the
It's
episode before
generational.
they come on, they already know that I'm.
Let's get
we
it.
gonna
Okay.
see what
I'm
you
ready.
gonna say.
I'm ready.
So we have to know, what is your top 5 dead or alive MCs?
So, I'm okay. I don't have like a number 1 top 5.
It doesn't
but,
be in order. Just
so I'm a huge Guru / Gangstar fan.
Okay.
My theme song is "The Movement of Truth" by
Okay.
Gangstar. Next after that, have to be Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
I feel like that was coming.
Yeah.
We're on the East Coast.
After that, De La Soul.
Okay.
Now as far as like West Coast hip hop and like the hip hop I'm into, I have to say the Far Side.
That's dope.
Um,
That's a new one. I like that.
and then I mean a lot of people sleep on them, but I'll be honest, I do like Tech Nine.
Okay.
I
do
can't
like-
be mad because I liked every artist on your
I
list.
knew it wasn't
Yeah.
going to where you thought
Yeah.
from the
I
first
knew.
second. I was like,
I
oh,
knew
it's
when
not.
you said it. I would
Like
that first one. I said, "Oh yeah, we ain't finna
Oh
go where I."
yeah.
want
She
us to
thinks
Well,
Pac should be
yeah.
on everyone.
Yeah. Well,
Because it don't
She
make
thinks who?
because it
Tupac.
doesn't make sense.
Like
When-
no. Here's the one. Like no,
the
I
math don't math. when you gotta pick.
I have nothing against Tupac, but I'm not. I feel like Tupac is a more hip hop mainstream artist. I've always more like the underground scene. Like you know what I mean. I listen a lot more underground. Like I listen like I don't know a lot
Well,
of
yeah,
people.
you put-
Non-commercial.
Like you guys,
said
you like
Far Side.
yeah, like you ever heard of Warm Brew?
No, I haven't, but I'm gonna go look. Up.
Yeah, I like Warm Brew. They're a West Coast artist. Who else in the West Coast I
Did you
listen
say
to?
warm brew?
Yeah, they're called Warm Brew.
hot ass coffee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hot
it's called-
ass,
It's not
So-
hot. It's warm.
So you got
warm.
yeah, you got Warm Brew. You got Pac Div. You ever heard of Pac Div?
Mhm.
So you see what I'm saying? I like more
Yeah.
I don't like
That
It's
mainstream
okay.
shit.
That
It's
mainstream
okay.
stuff, so-
Your list was dope.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna give it to
Yeah.
you. And it's not often I say that, and Tupac ain't on it because normally I act a fool. But your list was
No, she
dope.
act the
Okay.
fool every time they
No.
don't mention Tupac.
Yeah.
And then she catch an attitude.
And
And that's how she talked.
But then
Look,
she,
I-
read, she keep on passing me.
hey,
I'll be honest with. I was like, "Fuck, you gonna judge me? I don't say Tupac, but I don't care. I don't care. Man. I'm not gonna sit out here. I mean, if you really think about it, Tupac was just the East Coast artist on the West Coast.
He was
Debatable.
global.
Debatable.
Look, yeah,
Thank you.
Debatable.
He was the Earth Child.
Look, man. I got nothing. Look, I got
Right?
nothing. I got nothing against Tupac. Nothing like that. I still think he's a great artist. All that, but like, yeah, I'm more like the
You ain't gotta
the
explain.
backpacker.
No, yeah, you
I'm a
had-
backpacker.
You had,
type,
a
you know
really,
what I'm
you
saying?
had a really good list.
But
You
yeah,
had a
seriously,
really-
check out Warm Brew. Check out Pac Div. They're West Coast artists.
I tell everybody, you like what you like. Don't let Dez influence
It don't
you.
matter because I'm still gonna say what I said. But you
Don't let
had a
nobody
dope ass
kill
list.
Muppets in her spare time.
And
Make you
honestly,
feel
if I have to
bad.
go,
All the
if I have to
hate.
go number 1 West Coast, Dom Kennedy and
Oh,
Nipsey
I
Hussle.
love Dom
You know,
Kennedy.
I just got to see him in concert, so
I love Dom
yeah,
Kennedy.
Dom K by far. Like I'll ride the Dom
He's
K all day.
underrated.
Yeah,
Yes.
Think
facts.
so?
Yeah.
Him and
He
Cassie
ain't got no
Veggies.
mainstream
So
nothing.
Who?
Cassie Veggies.
I don't know that
He
one.
got nothing
See,
mainstream.
that's what I'm
So Dom
saying.
Kennedy
Hey,
is.
No, but I know Don. I listen to Don.
Yeah, if you fuck with, then you've heard Cassie. You just didn't know that Cassie Veggies was on it. That yeah.
And there's another artist. Oh man, I can't remember his damn name. Larry June.
Larry June, fire.
Fire.
Hey,
Man.
hey, Larry June, fire. 91 Smoothies, my shit.
Man.
I
Hey,
think I just like Larry June, the music, where I just be sitting there and I'm like, I could dance like a fool. Just
bro,
Yeah.
he's so true to who he is, man.
You
He's
can
like,
vibe to him.
somebody said the realest shit ever. I just seen a post. Somebody was like, how do you make pouring out orange juice look cool? Larry June does it.
Yeah, man. He is dope. He
Yeah,
is dope.
so
that's
you
the
know,
way. Vibes.
yeah,
Alright.
he's super vibey.
So with that being said, I want to thank William, WD-40.
Yeah.
He is now coined. WD-40 is dope.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you for being a part of this. Again, you inspire me every time I go to the gym and see you put up weight like it's nothing. I mean, even the other day when you saw me in a hack squat, you said that looks too easy, bro. Up the weight. I said, God damn.
Hey, I'm gonna
So you
push
got
you to
Joseph
do
in the
better.
gym with you.
Yes. So I appreciate the energy, the vibe, man, and like I said, you keep inspiring as a black man, as a dope person, man. Thank you for being a part of this, and shit, you're always welcome to come back.
Appreciate it.
And I wish you all the best success with your ventures, especially the clothing line and the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, man.
Forward to it.
I guess till next time, like, subscribe, comment, share.
All that shit.
Peace.
Sir.
Peace.
This has been another episode of the Heavyweight Podcast, Talk Yo Shit. One thing about me, baby, I'm showing up every week to see who coming to talk they shit. Y'all better show up with me. See you there. Bye.